He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife. Major meltdown. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Meltdowns are commonly seen with narcissists. That is because it is a manifestation of heated, ignited fury. In order to compel the narcissist to pursue the prime aims, the narcissism needs to make the narcissist think a particular way and feel a particular way. There has to be a motivation. It's similar to how you, as a non-narcissist, are motivated by certain aspects of your body behaving a particular way to compel you to take steps to look after yourself, in effect, to act in your best interest. A simple example of that is the fact that your throat becomes dry and uncomfortable when you're dehydrated. This is your body sending you a warning signal to say, go and drink. You're dehydrated. You're risking injury or death if you don't do anything about it. If you didn't have this sensation of thirst, then you may omit to drink at regular intervals, resulting in that injury or death. It's similar for the narcissist. In order to compel the narcissist to seek that control and obtain fuel, character traits, and residual benefits, the all-important prime aims, the narcissist must come up with things which drives the narcissist to get those aspects. It causes the narcissist to experience envy. It causes the narcissist to feel sorry for themselves. It causes the narcissist to be jealous of their girlfriend, fearing that she might go off with somebody else, even though there actually isn't any evidence to support that. There are lots of different ways that the narcissism will compel the narcissist to pursue the prime aims. But one of the most common methods is the ignition of fury. This can either be cold fury or heated fury, and if you'd like to understand more about the role of fury, I would direct you to read my excellent book, Fury. You can find it on Amazon or in the Knowledge Vault link in the video description. Heated ignited fury comes to the fore, compelling the narcissist to basically lose their shit. Whether it's a temper tantrum, stamping a cloven hoof like this one's wife might, destroying property by smashing crockery, smashing a window, punching a hole in the door, picking things up and throwing them to the floor, snapping personal items that belong to you, physically assaulting somebody, a violent verbal tirade. There's lots of different ways that heated ignited fury can come to the fore. And it's designed to provoke a response in those around the narcissist so that they're brought under control and that they provide fuel. In some other instances, it might also lead to a residual benefit. Certain narcissists have a very, very high threshold on their ignited fury, meaning you would probably never see it, or extremely rarely. Others have a hair trigger. Those tend to be the lower lessers and the middle lessers, where it would seem the slightest thing sets them off. Heated fury also exists amongst mid-range narcissists. Although many of them will use cold fury instead, heated fury does exist for them also. This is particularly the case with lower mid-rangers who have an intermittent facade that sort of flickers on and off. But even with the passive-aggressive middle mid-range narcissists, which of course that is what this one's wife is, they may well have a major meltdown, but that tends to be something that occurs in private. It would be unusual to have that happen externally. This is because the facade management would look to keep control over that ignited fury, so that control isn't lost over the audience at large. However, when there are no third parties present, or maybe just a few, it is more likely that the middle mid-range narcissist will lose their shit, engaging in a major meltdown behind closed doors. It's certainly something that would occur, for instance, between this one's wife and Prince Harry, as she berates him, shouts at him, throws crockery at him, possibly even pushes and shoves him, maybe even hitting him. All as a consequence of that heated ignited fury exploding from her, as a consequence of the threat to control that he has caused. But there are reports that a major meltdown took place on the Nigeria tour. This information is provided by Neil Sean, who explains that having covered royal tours previously, there's one thing that always really goes to plan, and that's the itinerary. You have to know exactly where you're going to be and at what time, and literally what time. Say, for instance, senior royals are exiting or indeed arriving, so that everything is running appropriately. And he explained that it was a strange thing on the fake royal tour over in Nigeria that this one's wife was an hour late. He queries whether there was a bigger problem. Was there a mega meltdown as ever? He explained that, as people know, she arrived late for an event which was apparently to celebrate her heritage. Now, it's the case, Mr. Sean explains, that royals are never late because everything is done on a clockwork basis. You need to be at this point here, then that point there, and so on and so forth. And apparently Prince Harry was absolutely furious as a consequence of the fact that she caused the delay. And apparently the delay was as a consequence of the fact that she could not make a decision over an outfit, and that there was a problem with the makeup, and that she was redoing her makeup, and that the people around her didn't want to rush this one's wife, and apparently they wanted to rush her, but she said, "Don't worry, when they see me, they'll forget that I'm late." Thus, there was a major argument apparently going on behind the scenes between Harry insisting that they get going because it's ill-mannered to be late, and of course you have to follow the itinerary, and this one's wife apparently thinking, "Oh, it's okay, keep them waiting. I'm sorting out my outfit. I'm sorting out my makeup, and hey, when I appear, they'll forget about it because it's me." Thus, a major Barney occurred between this one's wife and Harry, according to Neil Sean. He also explains that there was an argument regarding the national anthem as to whether it should have been played and whether they should have stood up for it, etc. And they ended up arguing about that also. Thus, according to Mr. Sean, there was this bust-up between Harry and this one's wife. He doesn't say where he gets that information from, and as always, I leave it up to you to determine its veracity. But once again, applying the knowledge of narcissism to the behaviour of this one's wife, I would suggest that what Mr. Sean offers is entirely conceivable. After all, this one's wife's arrogance is such that she turns up when she wants to turn up, because she believes that she is the main draw. Naturally, people are there to see her and Harry, so there is an element of truth in that. But she takes it too far, in that she doesn't think about the fact that it's rude to keep people waiting. It doesn't occur to her. And when it's pointed out to her that an itinerary has to be followed, rather than go, "I'm sorry, let's get on with it," she's dismissive, part of her haughty behaviours. "Oh, as soon as they see me, they'll forget about it." She demonstrates her arrogance and a level of self-absorption that the little people will be so pleased that they get to spend time with the magnificent this one's wife that all concerns about her being an hour late will be put to one side. Once again, for someone who claims to be 43% Nigerian, she demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of those people who are big on respect and punctuality. And therefore, not only is it rude in normal circumstances to turn up late for something because it shows that you don't value that other person's time, and as has often been said, of course, that punctuality is the politeness of kings, and the pseudo-royal surely would want to accord with that. But in Nigeria, a place which she seems to be her country now, she can't even do the courtesy to them of turning up on time, which just shows how spectacularly rude she is, how unpleasant she is, how arrogant and self-absorbed she is. and the fact that it resulted in a major meltdown between her and Harry because he was insistent on them attending to the itinerary and turning up. It's entirely conceivable that you could imagine her being sat there messing around with her outfit, messing around with her makeup, because after all, she styles herself and believes that she looks fantastic, and Harry tapping his wristwatch saying, "We're going to be late, we're keeping them waiting, it's the height of rudeness, we need to ensure that it's done," and her basically waving a hand, "Let them wait, when I arrive they'll forget about it." If accurate, and to my mind, I see no reason why it wouldn't be, this is all commensurate with the behaviour of this arrogant and self-absorbed narcissist, resulting in a meltdown when she's told that she has to do something as a consequence of heated, ignited fury coming to the fore to nullify the threat to control posed by anybody trying to keep her to account by saying, "You must stick to the itinerary." I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.